Alright. What's going on, everybody on YouTube? Happy Saturday. Griffin here, coming back to you guys with another live stream. First and foremost, for those of you that are new to the channel and considering subscribing, go ahead and do that. Don't even consider it. Just go ahead and do it. If you want to join a community of like-minded individuals that just want to achieve financial freedom at the end of the day, that's what we're all about here. So definitely, like I said, consider hitting that subscribe button. We'd love to have you here. And we have that totally free Discord group chat, which is easiest to reach me as well as everybody that's here. There's about like 40 of us in there now, so that's awesome stuff. That's one of the first links in the description box. How's it going, Josh? I actually just got off work around 1 o'clock. I worked this Saturday, but usually, like I mentioned, Saturdays I won't work but until like noon, 1, sometimes 2, 3 at the latest. But I got off around 1 today. So I figured let's go ahead and do a stream since I got the house to myself anyways. Let's go ahead and do a stream. Just give you all an update on the Iron Condor. As you all know, as long as it stayed under 3750 areas, like I think it's like 3753 or something to be exact, but right around 3750 to above like 33 or 3350, then it was going to expire completely worthless. I would collect before commissions $11. As you can see, this account that I just started, $11. That was back when I was obviously doing horrible trading, very risky options in my other account months ago, almost 6 months ago now actually. But so as you can see, I collected that full profit, $11, and then obviously after commissions they took $4.56 apparently. I thought it was $4.54, but fees too, so 2 pennies, whatever, $4.56. After everything. So that was a $6.40 profit, right? $6, or not quite, because I put total like $43.56 essentially up in collateral, so to speak, including the commissions. So if you took the $6.44 of profit I got divided by, I think it was 43, is either 43 or yeah, it was 43. 43.56. That means I made 14.7% profit, which, like the title of this video says, how do you make, which 14.8 actually, 14.8% profit in a week. All I did was a simple weekly Iron Condor setup on XOP that I'm going to show you guys, because XOP, and you have to take into account, everything is a little volatile right now. XOP's volatility's come down a little bit, but there's still some really good money out there. And obviously whenever the market is super volatile, there's even more money out there, which I'll show you guys here in a minute with SPY and whatnot. I'm personally not going to do a SPY Iron Condor just because it's too volatile for my liking. But and you have to put up a lot more money, of course, whenever there's volatility. So what we're going to do here is just go down to November 9th, just literally, like I said, weekly Iron Condors. I mean, the most risk is your total collateral that you put up, which we'll talk about here in a minute. So we're just going to go to Iron Condor, go, and if we look at our chart here on Toss, Think or Swim, you can see we came just below $34, right around $33.95, somewhere around there, came back up. We're still in this little range right now, in between $40 and $35. If you want to be on the safe side, you can do like 34, which is what I did last week, and I didn't have to worry at all whenever it dipped below, because I still had like another $1 to go on the downside. So let's say overall, to be honest, I'm a little bullish on oil this week. I think it's obviously had a massive sell-off, as has most of the market lately, and I think oil, personally, I think oil is going to recover a little bit this week. We're where are we at right now? 36.18. So we're testing this SMA line, this green line right here. You can see we got rejected right here on, I believe this is my EMA or DMA. I forget which one I put as the yellow. But anyways, you can see we got rejected by it, and now we're kind of using the SMA as a support, simple moving average. So I'm going to be interested to see what happens on Monday specifically. Monday's going to be a pretty big day for oil. But overall, I'm a little bullish on oil, to be honest. I think we're going to retest around $40 on SPY, which for like a /CL oil standpoint, if I remember right, is around $65. Yeah, because oils came clear down. we broke a pretty big support of around $65. So yeah, I think it's gonna at least try to retest 65, but in all honesty, personally, I think it's gonna get rejected. That's my personal opinion, because we are in the fall months, which is when oil tends to have its biggest drop of the year, which I had mentioned months ago. But short term, at least, this upcoming week, I think oil is going to try to retest 65, which what would that mean for XOP exactly? We might test right around $39 to $40, possibly. So what does that mean for you? If you wanted to set up Iron Condor, if you wanted to, I'm not saying to do it, I never suggest mimicking my trades or anything like that, but say you wanted to set up an Iron Condor, you would want to set it up probably between, I would bet more to the downside, because like I said, I do think it's going to get rejected at or before $40. So what I would do is I would bet a little bit more to the downside than the up, personally. If you look at our MACD indicator and our RSI, we definitely have a lot of room where we could come up. I'm not saying, like I said, I'm not saying at all that I don't think oil's going to try to recover. I just think it's going to get rejected at or before $40. So don't necessarily pay attention. This is where you don't want to just pay attention to your indicators. The only way you really want to pay attention to your indicators is more so if you're doing like a day trade on just those short-term calls and puts, of course, right? So anyhow, what I would do for this Iron Condor is probably do a $33 to $34 right there. So that means as long as it stays right around 34 or above, you would collect all the money, right? So then what I would also do is bring this to around 39.50 and 39. You could push it out to, I mean, if we want, we can go ahead and do 40, because that was, like I said, to be safe. We can do that. So you can see here, this one's actually a little bit more costly this time, because this is not necessarily the, did I click the wrong one? This needs to be 34. Okay, I think that makes a little bit more sense now. Okay, there we go. Sounds like that's a lot more expensive. But look at this one. This one, you have a max profit. Like I said, it's costing a little bit more. Why? Because our potential for profit is slightly higher than the one I placed last week. The one I placed last week, if I remember right, was around 77 to 80%. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong on that, but it was a little less than 80%, if I remember right. And this is obviously more of a bullish Iron Condor, actually, because we're at 36.18, and I bet $4 to the upside and around $2 to the down. And the reason I did that is because, like I said, for this week, I do think oil, XOP specifically, is going to try to recover up to near $40. So I just want to buy myself that little buffer, a little bit of wiggle room. I think overall, like I said, it's going to come back down to probably around $35 by the end of the week. But I think by Wednesday, it's going to be testing $38 to $40. So I want to bet for this week a little bit more on the bullish side. But if you were going more further out, say a 2-week, 3-week Iron Condor or something like that, you might want to bet more to the downside. But for this example, this one right here, it would cost you roughly $87. Of course, you can always make more of a chicken Iron Condor. And what I mean by that is, click on this. There we go. Okay. Is just pretty much squeeze everything, like I had mentioned. So, like, what you're going to do is, say you wanted to lower this down to around 38 and 38.50, which is still a decent amount of wiggle room for a 1-week Iron Condor, especially on, I don't know why it's not letting me scroll up, is a good little buffer for just a simple 1 week on XOP, because XOP, even on a crazy up day, tends to only move 2, sometimes 3%. A 2 to 3% move for XOP would be what? Right around $1, $2 at the most for the most part. And that's what it tended to move this last week. And what it tends to move is pretty much if you want to if you're wondering like what exactly is XOP, it's just a spider ETF of oil, which goes hand in hand with Gush. Gush just moves a lot more volatile, and that's why I decided to do XOP instead. Because see, XOP went down 1.63% on Friday. Gush, on the other hand, went down over 5% on Friday. So that's why I do XOP personally. But what I was saying is you can always just kind of play around with these and get the max profit potential and the costs that you want to mess around with. Like me, for my Iron Condors, I don't really want to necessarily go under 70% profit potential, just because then you're getting more of just a coin flip at that point on, because I mean, if you have a 50-50 shot, obviously you're just flipping a coin and kind of hoping for the best. I mean, you can have a general good idea if something's really not moving much, but at the end of the day, it's worth having a little bit more of a buffer, like having more collateral to be able to cover some profit and not have to necessarily close early, then have to pay commissions on the backside as you close, anything like that. But so like this one, for example, you would get $18 profit. So like, let's just go ahead and take a look. So after the commissions and everything, if you don't have to like pay anything to close, you're looking at $13.46, and you divide that by your buying power effect of 86.54. This one, again, it's going to give you 15.5% profit for a week, almost identical to the one that I just had this last week, right? That one was like 14.8%. So I mean, that right there, even after the commissions, you're looking at 15.5%, almost 15.6% profit. Now let's say you're like, okay, 15.5%. I want to kind of maybe give myself a little bit more room personally. So then you'd see, okay, $85, almost $90 for 1046. So 1046 divided by 89.54 you put up. That's still 12% profit, guys. It's like 11.7 to be exact. But I mean, at the end of the day, to be honest, I don't see why just everybody doesn't do Iron Condors instead of, I mean, everybody that's just too busy to simply not just sit at the computer, obviously, where you can trade minute by minute doing the short-term options plays, of course. But when it comes to Iron Condors, I just feel like they're the best source. This could be a source of passive income for people that are just looking to develop some sort of passive income that are so busy at jobs. I mean, you guys know, especially those of you in Discord, you guys know on Thursday night, I worked almost 15 hours on Thursday. I left the house around 6:30, and I got home around 8:30, 8:45. I mean, I had no time Thursday to worry about looking at my stocks, anything like that, and I didn't. I looked at I think I hopped on Discord once or twice just to kind of chat with everybody real quick, and then I looked at XOP. I was like, okay, still in my range, boom, and then I shut it off and went back to work. So, I mean, this could really be a good source of passive income for people that are looking to just start building some sort of passive income to hopefully get out of a job. Or maybe you're new to trading options or new to just trading in general. I think Iron Condors, in all honesty, are one of the best things you could really start out in. I wish I had learned about Iron Condors before I even started trading, in all honesty, because they're just a lot more safe. I mean, you get to make money if a stock goes up, if a stock goes down, as long as it stays within your range. That's the beauty of it. You already know where the stock is at the time, so all you have to do is bet, well, it's probably not going any lower than this, and it's probably not going any higher than this in the next week. And as long as it stays within that and you're right on that, you don't have to be right on whether you think it's going up or going down. Like I said, I think overall XOP is probably going to go up the next couple days and test $40, right around $38 to $40 probably. Now, could I have placed a call? Yeah, but then chances are I would end up losing money. Let's go ahead and just show you that, for example. So let's say, like I said, short term, I'm a little bullish on XOP. So what would I do? A long call option, go. Let's see here, where are we at? 6 days out. So you can see, let's say I wanted to do, you guys know I like to do just slightly out of the money, so I wouldn't do a 36, I would do a 36.50. So see, your max loss is $67. What was your max loss on that Iron Condor? Around $80 to $90, right? So your max loss is slightly higher on the Iron Condor, but look at your potential for profit, 31%. That means you have less than a third chance on making any money at all on that option trade. At all. Zero. Like, you have a 31% chance to make a penny off of that option. So you have a 69% chance to lose all that money and a 31% chance to actually make money. And the difference is you have to actually be able to physically almost just sit there, check it every few minutes so you can cover the profit and move on. I mean, you could wiggle around with you could try to ask for the mid, but even then you're still talking about $65, which you generally need to bid $1 up. But obviously the big thing that people like, max profit. There is no max profit. You could double, triple, quadruple anything your money if you're right. But as most of us know, I mean, it's pretty hard to be right. This was when I was trading calls and puts. And no, I that was back when I was a naive trader. I thought I knew everything, and I was just using too much of this, or no, not too much of this, too much of this and not enough of this, and was losing money because of it. And now that I'm doing Iron Condors, it takes all the thinking and the psychology essentially out, because as long as you know what you're doing, know what you're looking at on your chart, I know more than likely, 90% likely, 9 out of 10 chance, XOP is probably going to stay pretty damn close within this little range right here. We got a solid support right around $35, as you all could see, and we got a solid resistance more than likely, because you can see an old support is going to become what, a new resistance. So right around 40 is going to be a pretty strong resistance. So as long as you just know the technicals, I mean, it takes everything psychologically out, because all you got to do is just be like, hey, as long as it stays within this little range, I collect my 15%. And is it boring? Yes. I mean, literally, I place my trade Monday morning, and then I don't do shit. Like, I don't do nothing all week. That's it. I just sit there and watch it and watch it and watch it. And I don't watch it, obviously. Like I said, I have a job. Most of you have a job, which is why I'm pushing for you guys that are new to trading options specifically. Look in and learn as much about Iron Condors as you can. I have a few videos, probably 5 or 10 now, videos that just kind of explain Iron Condors, how they work, how you should go about trading them, all that good stuff. And I'm going to keep on posting them, because I know that so many people that are looking to trade have jobs. I mean, we all have jobs, we all have bills to pay and all that. And it's hard to just be able to sit there and track calls, puts, swing trades, because I mean, you still doing that stuff. You need to be able to look at it pretty frequently. I mean, even swing trading, you should be looking probably every hour at the minimum, just to kind of make sure that your stock didn't all of a sudden drop or anything like that. I mean, obviously you could say stop losses and all that BS. I don't want to do that. I like security. I like consistency. I don't like losing money. What did Warren Buffett always say? He said, rule number 1 about like just investing everything. Rule number 1, don't lose money. Rule number 2, don't forget rule number 1. So I mean, is it boring? Absolutely. Like, once I'm actually doing this full time, I'll do calls and puts and stuff like that short term, where I can sit there, watch it for a few minutes, collect the money, and move on. But for now, to consistently build my account, I'm just going to trade these weekly Iron Condors and adjust as needed, and just keep on collecting my 10 to 20% a week. Because think about it. Say you wanted to put $1,000 worth of this iron, not this specifically, obviously Iron Condor, but just for an example, say you put $1,000 into this Iron Condor and you got, let's say, 12.5%, which is what a lot of the Iron Condors tend to do on a weekly. So 12.5%, and that's after your commissions. You're looking at $125 that you made for the week on a $1,000 account. And then you guys know how the power of compounding interest works. It just blows up over time. And I mean, $1,000 is obviously absolutely nothing when it comes to trading. I cannot wait, because here, starting next month, I'm going to start investing a lot of money back into my investment account. mostly being on my Tastyworks account. Like you guys know, I mentioned I limited myself to $50 to trade with. Obviously, after commissions, I made $6.44 or $6.46. I can't tell exactly. 2 pennies either way. I made around $6.50 essentially this last week, which off of a $43 trade that I did, or whatever amount it was, 40 something. That's a good return in my opinion. Like I keep stressing to you guys over and over and over, and going back to the point that I keep hitting on over and over and over. And those of you that have been watching probably know already what I'm about to say. Do not look at dollars. Look at percentages. Like, there's no point, even whenever your account gets to $25,000, $50,000, $100,000, $200,000 account. I don't care what size account you're trading with. If you start looking at dollars versus percentages, you're not going to make the most money that you could, because you're going to be thinking, how can I make just $1 more? How can I make just $10 more? How can I make, like, people are so focused on, well, I want to make $100 a day. You got to crawl before you walk. You can't expect to make $100 a day on a $100 account, guys. You can't expect to make $100 a day on a $1,000 account. I mean, that you're talking 10% a day. I mean, that's just not realistic. Will you have days that are like that? Yes. You'll have days where you might do 20%, but those are just those unicorns that are rare. I mean, they're not everyday occurrences. Just because you see people do it on YouTube, you don't know how much money they lost before that. I mean, I'm straight up with you guys. Like, I don't blur out any of, like, my profit losses. This was when I was stupid, naive, and new. And now that I'm finally learning everything, learned from all my mistakes the last few months that I took off from trading, now I have a plan. Now I'm looking at percentages instead of dollars. Now I'm looking at what gives me the maximum safest return. I just want to show you guys this one more time, because that XOP call, 31% chance of a profit, right? 31% chance. Keep that in the back of your head. 31% chance on making money. And you had to put up around $66, remember? So you only have to put up $16 more. You get $18 guaranteed profit if you hold it all the way till end. And you have a 40% higher chance on making money. So you over doubled, almost not quite triple, but over doubled your chance on making money off of this trade. You're having to put up a few more dollars, $16. I mean, to me, it's worth it. Obviously, I don't have the capital to do this exact trade. In all honesty, I don't know what trade exactly I'm going to do yet, just because the premiums for some reason are slightly higher this week. Even though the IV has gone down on XOP, the IV was at 89. It's at 69 now. That makes sense, because the less implied volatility, the more this is going to cost you up front in collateral, because with high volatility, you're having a higher premium that you're going to collect on a lower max loss. So that actually does make sense. Where if we go over to SPY, as I was mentioning, I'll go ahead and start this now. If we look at a 1 week SPY Iron Condor, you can see, obviously no one in the right mind would do this trade, but I mean, max profit 47, you only had to put up $3. So I mean, you can see, like, if I were to do one on SPY, 1 week, man, so much can happen in a week with how high the implied volatility is on SPY right now. Just to put in perspective, those of you that don't know much about implied volatility, just means like how drastically essentially the market is moving. Premiums are going to be higher on the options and whatnot, and a 35.7 on SPY is pretty damn high. Usually we see SPY around 11, 12, sometimes 14 to 16, but for it to be near 40, I mean, it's still very, very high. And of course, we've had just massive moves lately within the market. But I mean, shoot, in all honesty, I'd probably have to push this to 280 to feel comfortable, and push this probably to 265 at least. I mean, let's just do it for the fun of it. Let's see, 265, and then with these we will unselect these. Come on, man. Okay. So strike. This is why I hate their updates sometimes. Because I can't, once it goes off my chart, I don't understand. Let's go to the curve instead. There we go. So we got our 6 day. So like I said, just because of how volatile the market's been, I'm slightly bullish on SPY for the time being, but for some reason, I don't know why, I just feel like it needs to retest 260, around 260, 260 to 265. I don't know why exactly I feel that way, that's just how I feel. But, so let's say I did a 264.50 and a 265. So you can see there, max loss 81, max profit 19. Slightly higher potential for profit is slightly lower, even though we have, what, a $16 range on the SPY. I mean, that's essentially $6 one way and damn near almost $10, $8 to $10 the other. So you can sit around and just, I highly suggest a lot of you, in all honesty, to just sit down on Tastyworks and just kind of play around with certain stocks or ETFs. I personally like doing Iron Condors more on the ETFs than stocks personally. Stocks I'd be more into doing just the basic calls and puts and whatnot. But for the time being, I'm probably going to keep playing XOP. I might play SPY. It just depends because for the premium is a lot more expensive this time, which I don't like. See, my profit on this one's at 60%, but I have a chance of pretty decent profit. I don't know, I mean, I might consider this trade. I might place it Monday depending on how the markets look. And I'll try to remember, obviously we have our Sunday stock watch tomorrow. I'll try to remember to do that stream somewhere around when the futures market opens. That way we'll get a good idea on what it looks like oil's going to do going into Monday, maybe. Because that's ultimately going to decide how I'm going to go about doing this Iron Condor, if I'm going to do it slightly bullish or slightly bearish. I'm probably still leaning more to the bullish side. I don't know if I can go to 39. Yeah, see, I might do something like that. 38.50, 38. No, that's still not enough room if you ask me. There we go. So, I mean, I might do something like this. Something like so then I would have from the range of just above $39 to just below $34.50. My potential for profit at that point goes to 73%, which is, I mean, it isn't like the best or anything, but it's still a decent chance of profit, of course. And then after fees, you would get, if you held it all the way through, you'd be looking at 746. So 746 divided by 42.54, that's 17.5% profit. So like I said, at the end of the day, you can actually make more than 15% if you just take the time to sit down, kind of get really technical with it, play around with your strike prices. And I mean, this one right here says 17.54% profit. So I mean, you're looking at almost 18% for the week from that trade, for that trade at least. It wouldn't be 18% on my whole account, of course, because it only takes up $42.54 out of $56. But you guys get what I'm saying. If you can make 17% on any investment in a week, I think all of you would do it, or you're at the wrong place. Sorry, I don't know what I ate. My stomach's giving me issues today. Probably because I haven't ate at all, actually. But, let's see. Let's go ahead and check the stream real quick. We got one of you tuning in. It's a Saturday afternoon. I didn't really expect anyone to really want to watch a stream in the middle of the day on a Saturday, but I at least wanted to just throw the stream up for everybody, even if you see it after the upload. If you're new to the channel, like I said, definitely start hitting that subscribe button below. We'd love to have you here join this community of awesome like-minded individuals. And like I said, it's always easiest to reach me in our Discord group chat. That's one of the first links in the description box. And if you're like new entirely to just Tastyworks and everything, I have a link that you can check out to like see their commission structure and everything like that for options, equity trades, futures, all that good stuff. So if you're into that, that's also in one of the links in the description box. But I'll go ahead and wrap this up. I don't want to take too much of anybody's time on a Saturday. I'm getting ready to go watch a little bit of football. It's actually funny because Florida's my favorite like college football team, and they're playing Missouri, which is obviously where I came from. So having a little trash talk with some family because they're obviously Missouri fans, but I'm a Florida fan. So it'll be fun. But like I said, Sunday stock watch tomorrow, probably a little around 24 hours or so from now. By the way, let me know in the description box any stocks or ETFs that you're considering hopping into this week, and how you guys liked the whole premiere thing I did for the debt-free journey update yesterday. I thought that was pretty cool that YouTube has that now. So I always looking to hear feedback from you guys. It's all about you at the end of the day. That's why I do all these videos and stay on here for you guys. But like I said, until next time, guys, keep on out there making those profits, covering your profits, and achieving some financial freedom this year. And I'll see you guys, like I said, in the next 24 hours or so. Take it easy, guys.